everyone, welcome back. My name is Zane and this is Monument. Netflix acquires another developer to build world-class games. It's buying the developer of Stranger Things mobile RPG for 65 million euros. This is quite significant. I've always thought that Netflix has a huge possibilities of competing with gaming companies, but most important, I've always thought that Netflix has a huge possibility of competing with companies such as YouTube. Because Netflix is a streaming platform, they're a platform that people go to watch TV shows and movies. People do the exact same with YouTube, but instead of movies, it's videos. Netflix could realistically create a competitor for YouTube, and I hope they take that opportunity serious. But for the time being, it looks like they're serious about game development, which is something I'm really supporting them in. Netflix needs more support in areas in their business. They need a bigger ecosystem. They need to rely on more streams of income instead of Netflix on its own. Netflix has made an offer to acquire Next Games, the Finland-based developer behind mobile puzzle RPG Stranger Things. Netflix VP of Games, Mike Verdu, said that the acquisition was to help the company build a library of great games for our members to join. Next Games have also developed a pair of Walking Dead theme mobile game. The acquisition comes as Netflix is building a mobile gaming service into its regular subscription service. Netflix game launched on iOS and Android last year and consists of a handful of mobile games that are available free to download from App Store for Netflix subscribers with no ads or in-game purchases. This was said by the VP of Game, Mike Verdu, and I quote, "While we're just getting started in games, I am confident that together with Next Games, we will be able to build a portfolio of world-class games that will delight our members around the world." So far, many of the titles that are on Netflix gaming service have been developed by external partners. It's two games based on the Stranger Things franchise, Stranger Things 1984 and Stranger Things 3 the game. Both list Texas-based Bonus XP as their developer. Netflix is also licensing the pre-existing games Asphalt Extreme to offer exclusively to its subscribers, but the acquisition of Next Games and the Night School studio last year, it seems the streaming giant is hoping to develop more titles for its service in-house. TechCrunch noted that acquisitions are relatively uncommon for Netflix, with just 5 associated with the streaming giant on Crunchbase, but its move to acquire Next Game comes as like the Microsoft and Sony's are making their major development acquisition widely seen as a way of building out their respective gaming subscription service. Netflix is offering to acquire Next Game for 65 million. That's around 72 million in US dollars, and Next Game Board of Directors has recommended that shareholders accept the offer. The offer equates to 2.1 euros in per share, which Reuters notes is over doubled its 0.93 closing price yesterday. The company expected the transaction to complete in the second quarter of 2022. Additionally, Riot's latest League of Legends spin-off hits Netflix game as a mobile exclusive. You'll need a Netflix subscription to play Hextech, Mayhem, or Dungeon Dwarfs on mobile. Netflix has announced that it's adding 2 new titles to its small but steady growing lineup of mobile games, including Riot's newest League of Legends spin-off. Starting today, users can play Dungeon Dwarfs and the Hextech Mayhem on Android and iOS for free with a Netflix subscription. Dungeon Dwarfs, developed by Hyper Hippo, is an idle dungeon crawler that continues to play if the app isn't active. You can control a party of 5 dwarfs who beat down walls and monsters to reclaim its underground homes by bit. They continue their dungeon dive even if you aren't actively playing the game, rewarding you with loots and weapons found whenever they return. The more notable of the 2 released in Hextech Mayhem, a rhythm runner featuring characters and Localess from Riot Game, League of Legends developed by Choice Precision. Hextech Mayhem is published by Riot Forge. Riot Games, publishing ARM, offers smaller, self-contained games set in League of Legends universe. Hextech Mayhem has already launched on consoles and PC, but made waves when it was announced that it would be available on mobile as Netflix exclusive, making it the biggest game launch for streaming service yet. So I think this is absolutely fantastic because it's completely genius what Netflix is doing. They're essentially growing their ecosystem of business. They're creating new business, new ventures, and they're giving their Netflix users more to do and more for their subscription. Now your Netflix subscription supports Netflix games exclusively and your Netflix account. That's fantastic. And this is brilliant for Netflix. It's completely genius, and I want to see them seriously compete with YouTube. I know it's really long fetch for Netflix to compete with YouTube, because competing with YouTube is almost impossible for anyone to do, because everyone goes to YouTube when they need to find a video. It's just default. But I believe more streaming services like Netflix seriously stands a good chance, especially if Netflix can bring more YouTube creators and TikTok creators to its Netflix platform to create low budget series that are approved by Netflix. That's genius. Netflix would get more content, and those creators will get somewhere else other than YouTube to create content for. It's genius. Anyway, that's just a personal idea that I have for Netflix specifically. Now I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching until the end. Subscribe and leave a like, leave a comment, and let's have a discussion, and I will see you in my next video.